Hi guys, Warren and Mike here from Endeavor Defense and Fitness. We just got done with GWACC 2, which was a lot about weapon retention, standing and on the ground a little bit, with an eye towards specifically like keeping your gun in the holster. So we're thinking for 3, we're going to talk about a much sort of more general concept rather than specific techniques. So one of the concepts we're going to talk about, probably the thing we're going to focus on most, is how having a weapon, whether it's a gun or a knife, in someone's hand tends to change what both parties try to do. One of the important ways that it changes it is we both tend to fixate on the weapon. So when we talk about weapon fixation, we're talking about the idea that because he has this tool, he wants to use this tool. Like when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Similar idea, when you have a knife, he's going to want to use the knife. So of course that's orders of magnitude more dangerous usually than not having a knife. But when we start to explore this, we find that as he fixates on the weapon, he tends to give up other things. So one of the things that he tends to give up is if I'm 2-on-1 on this, he may go 2-on-1 on this as well. He may get his other hand into this fight in different ways, whatever it is, right? This isn't a specific, I just happen to grab his hand this way. But if we both have both hands on this, notice that all of a sudden this post that he would normally have this hand to deal with if we were just doing jiu-jitsu, right? Like I would have to be dealing with this post. He's giving that up in order to fight over this weapon. So there's different things that opens up for us potentially, right? And we're not like talking about any specific prescribed thing, but right here, I'm starting to notice without this arm there, I'm starting to have opportunities to get around to his back, right? And that's just because he fixated on the weapon. Like if his arm was back here and he wasn't fixated on it, we're just doing jiu-jitsu, I would never be able to that easily get around his arm. I would have to like engineer, arm drags and shit to try and do that. But because the weapon's in play, it changes things a little bit. So another way, another just example of this concept, if we're in here and several months ago now, we were talking about using this sort of shin and forearm shield to temporarily, put something in between the knife and our delicate bits. If we start to do that and get this sort of like momentary trapping going on, where we have some kind of this, and he wants to pull that back real hard, if he pulls it back hard, you'll notice that his posture does things that he wouldn't normally do, right? If his posture is pulled back that far, maybe there's an opportunity for just like a shitty hip bump. It doesn't have to be technical or anything, because we're so fixated on the weapon that he's put himself in a posture that compromises in a way that he wouldn't do without the knife. So like one of the things we found when we just start playing with weapons is like if Mike especially doesn't have a weapon, he'll kick my ass all day. If he does have a weapon, I have like 25% chance of coming out better, which is weird, but because like someone that's so skilled at jiu-jitsu, putting another element in there actually starts to bring the gap closer together. So, yeah, there are a million examples and applications of this sort of thing. Those are 2 big ones. I mean, if we get, I think we've seen Eli Knight and other people do stuff where we get off to this side of the knife and this kind of thing. We have the same sort of stuff going on where we can sit up, take the back, post, gift wraps and stuff. So there's no particular technique, but especially if you're training like straight jiu-jitsu and you want to try seeing how that applies with weapons, maybe once or twice a week have a partner grab a training knife, or even you don't have to tell them what it is, a marker, and try and poke me with this marker, and see what you can do to use their effort to control that and fixate on that object to find your sleeps and stuff. So play with that.
GWACC 3, date announcement soon. It's coming up. Not sure where, but when yet, but soon.
See you guys.